Unfortunately, I do not have the old tweet, as I've lived many different incarnations on the planet, especially on social media platforms. But a few years ago, I made a tweet in which I was particularly abrasive and insulting towards the new fashion trend, which were those infantile, oversized, hidden, height increasing shoes, those large shoes with the huge sole. I remember seeing them and I was instantly enraged, as any red blooded male should have been. And I wasn't sure exactly what it was. I don't know if it was the idea that short men were trying to act large, and as a man of naturally large stature, I was insulted that inferior specimens of the human race were trying to pretend they were my equal. I wasn't sure if it was just for the fact that the shoes looked infantile and childish. I think it was every single time.
Well, from what you've heard so far from Andrew Tate, you all should know that this guy is much more. He's much. If you take everything the same, you know, to the heart, if you take it personally, you will get offended. But he's much more, humorous and hilarious with the way he conducts himself or the way he projects his speeches. Like, you can't take everything personally. Basically, he is more of a he's someone who, like, he exudes this this funny way of seriousness mingled with comedy, but you just can't take it super serious to the heart. But yeah, he's talking about this thing with Balenciaga, and when he noticed it and he made a tweet, maybe, yeah, I can't even find the tweet. I don't think he said, like I said, he said he can't even find the tweet by himself. But yeah, he made a tweet projecting, what's the meaning of this huge outfit, these huge shoes that people are wearing, and then he later discovered that that's Balenciaga, and now it's a company, that projects and portrays, that sexualizes kids, and that's, but I'll let y'all listen to the video all the way to the end.
Time I went shopping, I could no longer buy a nice pair of trainers or sneakers from any of the reputable brands because they'd all been oversized Lego brick garbage. But now I realize that actually the reason I was so overtly offended is because I am all seeing, all knowing Tate. I am an oracle. I am basically a psychic. In fact, I'm basically the most smartest, knowledgeable person on the planet. I have never predicted anything wrong in history. Every single call I've ever made has turned out to be completely accurate and factually correct. And the reason I was so instantly enraged when I saw these stupid fucking shoes on people's feet is because I did not know at the time, but deep in my soul, as an Aikido master, I knew that later on, this glaring fact would be presented to me. Who invented that trend? Which was the first brand that came out with those stupid oversized shoes? Balenciaga. The pedophiles. They're pedophile shoes. Now it all makes sense. When I first saw them, I was so pissed off, and I was pissed off at any man I saw wearing them. I didn't really know why. But now I know why, because they were invented by fucking pedophiles. So just like we will ostracize and criticize any single person you see walk into a Balenciaga store, I would actually like to expand that out across the entire fashion trend of these stupid overlarge shoes that people are wearing. These men walking around with these massive fucking shoes on. It's immature and it's pathetic. It was invented by pedophiles. It means by wearing them, you support pedophilia. You're basically a fucking pedophile yourself.
Damn. He took it personal. But yeah, the thing about, like, if you look at the world now, it makes you want to ask a question: what's wrong with the world we live in? The over sexualization of children and teenager, it's becoming rampant these days. I work retail, for example, and one thing I realized back in the days is, like, sexual toys, you don't you buy them from adult stores, right? You buy them, and when you want to buy them, you have to go, like, inside a room. You have to show your ID. You can't just buy these things over the counter. Well, in this current day and age, we sell Plan Bs over the counter. We sell sexual toys over the counter, and I've seen, like, a boy and a girl, they came to the store to buy, like, a Plan B to terminate, whatever, to what they do to know, so she doesn't get pregnant. And these kids were, like, I think if the oldest age they will be around 10, 12 years old. So there's this over sexualization of children going on in this current day and age, and it's beginning to require that parents need to start paying so much attention to their kids, because you never know what they're doing outside. You never know. I'll share the Balenciaga picture with us, so you see the pictures. Because the first time I saw the picture, I didn't even know what that meant, because I just don't know. Like, so later on, I now had to look at the picture again. I was like, damn, this now I see exactly what people are crazy about. Look at the picture. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this picture. Look at the picture on the left. You see the doll? The doll is strapped. You know where they strap like this? You gotta check pH. That's where they get strapped on like this. So basically, the anger was that they are involving kids in BDSM photos. You see this? Look at this one too. You see they have all these things around the kids. Look at the baby. This is the BDSM. In fact, when I heard the word BDSM, I didn't even know, because I was like, it took me a while to like, oh, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on in this world? But then, even though this thing is online, it's already getting into families. That's why parents, you need to like call your kids and have a conversation with them so you know where they are. Because you might be thinking, oh, my kid is 12 years old. They're good, but they've been having sex. She's probably used Plan Bs like 7 times. 12 years old. You know, young kids, they are exposing them to, you know, things that they're not supposed to be exposed to, things that we used to protect them from, things that we don't let them see until they're like, they've come of age. Now they just expose them to these things, and it's crazy. It's crazy. I think Andrew Tate made another video talking about what's behind all of this. We'll take a look at the video too. Take a look at the video, because it's it's weird what's going on in today's world. It's just weird. It's just weird. No. Look at this.
If it was done on purpose, which as we've just deciphered, it must have been, why? If it was done on purpose, which as we've just deciphered, it must have been, why are they doing this? And I don't think many people understand why a brand like Balenciaga would so openly show the world that they are trying to promote pedophilia.
Tell them.
I'll tell them why. So some could argue that they're trying to advertise it and encourage it,
Normalize.
and that is the case. That is what they're trying to do, but it actually goes a level deeper than that. Satanists, people who worship Satan, believe in karmic retribution. They believe that they can suffer the consequence of lying and tricking you. So the very simple premise is this: if I sell poison apples and I write apples and you come and eat one, I poisoned you. But if I sell poison apples and I have a sign that says apples, they're poison, and you come and eat one, you committed suicide. I haven't murdered you. You've committed suicide.
That's what Satanists believe.
Satanists believe by telling you what they're doing, they don't have any karmic retribution. I'm not responsible for the concert. I'm not responsible for all the negative fallout from my actions if they understood what I was doing and allowed me to do it. This is why they show you and tell you what they're doing. If I show you and tell you that we are pedophiles and you continue to buy our products, then you're supporting pedophilia, and you're obviously okay with us being pedophiles. If I do it hidden behind your back, then you can argue and say, I didn't know they were pedophiles. But by showing you, I've shown you I'm a pedophile, you still want to wear my t-shirt. So obviously what I'm doing is okay. And this karmic retribution model and the way that Satanists view the world, and when I say Satanists, I genuinely mean people who worship
real
Satan. The people who are in charge of these brands and in charge of the Western world and in charge of the Matrix genuinely worship Satan. When you understand the idea of karmic retribution, you can apply that to so many scenarios. They're doing this with everything. Karmic retribution isn't just about Balenciaga. Let's look at the recent scam of COVID. They made it very clear to you it was bullshit. They made it very clear that the virus isn't going to hurt you.
They made it clear that they didn't listen.
They
disobeyed the mask laws.
Yeah, they made it very clear to you it was all stupid. So that when you still did it, they could say, well.
There you go. There you go. So it's just deep. It's deep. It's deep. It goes deep down the rabbit hole. And from what you said, it's about karmic retribution, whereby you know what you're doing because you've seen it, and whatever happens, it's on you. And that's the style that they're bringing in. Well, that's why you need to be versed knowledge wise. You need to know what's going on. You need to know what your kids are being taught in school. You need to know what you want them to learn. You need to just examine your surroundings, know the difference between right and wrong, so that way you can make informed decision. And whatever happens, you just know that okay, you've done your best, and it's not it's whatever happens to you is not just about that it's just happening. It's because fine, you've done your research, and yeah, this is happening, and you're taking full accountability, good or bad. You need to inform yourself basically. And Balenciaga actually responded. This is one thing I want to bring out. I'm going to read the response to you. Let's go there. So this is what they say. This is their response. They said, we would like to address the controversies surrounding our recent ad campaigns. We strongly condemn child abuse. It was never our intent to include it in our narrative. Yes, you heard that? But before ads like this come out, before they come out, they go through multiple stages. They don't just boom, they don't just do things and then it goes public. It goes through multiple company corporate vetting stages. So them saying it was never our intent to include it in our narrative, it's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. I keep reading. The two separate ad campaigns in question reflect a series of grievous errors for which Balenciaga takes responsibility. The first ad campaign, the gift collection campaign, features children with plush bear bags dressed in what some have labeled BDSM-inspired outfits. Our plush bear bags and the gift collection should not have been featured with children. This was a wrong choice by Balenciaga, combined with our failure in assessing and validating images. The responsibility for this lies with Balenciaga alone. The second separate campaign for spring 2023, which was meant to replicate a business office environment, included a photo with a page in the background from a Supreme Court ruling, United States 4 Williams 2008, which confirms as illegal and not protected by freedom of speech the promotion of child pornography. All the items included in this shooting were provided by third parties that confirmed in writing that these props were fake office documents. They turned out to be real legal papers, most likely coming from the filming of a television drama. The filming of a television drama. Now, this is like we have all this information. They are all wrong, but it's the fault of a third party. The third party could be a company that someone within their company could just register real quick, backdate the document, and if there's a lawsuit, they'll just present that as this is the third party. It makes no sense. So they can't play ignorance to their own stupidity, because unless they think the public is just stupid and they'll just gulp things like this up. The inclusion of this unapproved document was the result of reckless negligence for which Balenciaga has filed a complaint. We take full accountability for our lack of oversight and control of the documents in the background, and we could have done this differently. While internal and external investigations are ongoing, we are taking the following actions we are taking the following actions. One, we are closely revising our organization and collective ways of working. We are reinforcing the structures around our creative processes and validation steps. We want to ensure that new controls mark pivot and will prevent this from happening again. And this was one of the things that Kanye was actually talking about socializing kids. And that was one of the things that he was crazy about, that he was trying to fight against before what he did yesterday and just blabbing his mouth. Jesus Christ. The next thing they said they'll be doing is we are laying the groundwork with organizations who specialize in child protection and aims at ending child abuse and exploitation. We want to learn from our mistake and identify ways we can contribute. Balenciaga reiterates its sincere apologies for the offense we have caused and extend its apologies to talents and partners. Like this will just rub everything away. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. Um Oh, they said again in another post that Balenciaga takes the following actions with the objective to learn from our mistake as an organization. New control instances. Our current process for content validation has failed, and we recognize the need to do better. On the internal side, we nominate with immediate effect an image board responsible for evaluating the nature of our content from concept to final asset, including legal sustainability and diversity expertise. I'm surprised that they're just doing this right now. An image board. They should have done this a long time ago. On the external side, we have appointed a best in class agency to assess and evaluate our content. Organization wise, we have reorganized our image department to ensure full alignment with our corporate guidelines. Lawsuit. Balenciaga has decided not to pursue litigation. Okay, first and foremost, who are those kids? Like, who were those kids in those photos that they used? Who are those kids? And who are their parents? Because all these people need to be filing for lawsuits. So saying Balenciaga has decided not to pursue litigation, that's absolutely dumb. It's insane. It's insane. The next thing is to learn and contribute. We want to learn, help, and contribute to protect children. We are starting training on responsible communication across our team. Together with my team, we will go on listening tour to engage with advocacy groups who aim to protect children. The nation, we have set aside a significant fund for grants organizations so that we can help make a difference in protecting children. I want to personally reiterate sincere apologies for the offense caused and take my responsibility. At Balenciaga, we stand together for children's safety and do not tolerate any kind of violence and hatred message. Cedric Chavez, President and CEO of Balenciaga. That's just absurd. And Kim took 50 years to respond to this. And people got mad. She didn't even respond until people got mad. And this is her response, which is insane. Her response is, I've been quiet for the past few days, not because I haven't been disgusted and outraged by the recent Balenciaga campaigns, but because I wanted an opportunity to speak to their team to understand for myself how this could have happened. As a mother of four, I've been shaken by the disturbing images. The safety of our children must be held with the highest regard, and any attempt to normalize child abuse of any kind should have no place in our society. Period. So the thing is, it took her like over a week after multiple people after multiple people called that out, like you were, because when Kanye made the anti-Semitic statement, she was so fast to jump on it, so fast, and people are like, "Oh, so you're so quick to jump on Kanye's ass, but you're not so quick to jump on the pedophile's ass." So it took her weeks. Candace Owen was like, "You have to come out." Like she really called Kim out, and then she came out and she said, "I appreciate Balenciaga's removal of the campaigns and apology. In speaking with the team, I believe they understand the seriousness of the issue and will take the necessary measure for this to never happen again. As for my future with Balenciaga, I'm currently evaluating my relationship with the brand, basing it off willingness to accept accountability for something that should never happen to begin with, and the actions I'm expecting to see them take to protect children." Oh, look at the very first comment from Diana Stewart. She said, "They haven't been taking any responsibility. They are blaming the photographer when it was their stylist." It's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Anyways, to this one, Kim's response, top G, Andrew Tate, the top G had the response. And he said, Andrew top G Tate, oh, that's the top G response to him. He said, "I might stop taking their money, unacceptable. Like if they've crossed this line, there's a line, and if they have crossed the line, there's no point doing business with them anymore. Like you know that this guy are promoting pedophilia, and you're thinking of reevaluating, but you can disassociate yourself from other people. Your husband when he made a hateful statement, and now we have a company that's propagating pedophilia, and you're thinking of you're evaluating your future with them. It's crazy." Andrew Tate says, "I might stop taking their money. Maybe she should consider that. I don't know. But what do y'all think? What do you think about what's going on in the world today? The over sexualization of kids. What do you think about that? It's been going on. So what do you think about that? And what do you think about all this? What do you think about Andrew Tate's karmic retribution explanation of what's going on? You know, what do you think about Kim not taking time to respond? What do you think about this? What do you think is the future of our society with the way the companies keep propagating the over sexualization of young people in this current day and age, because they are profiting from it? It's all about money in the end, and we need to be careful, because money, good says, is the root of all evil. I'll see you in the next video.